My ferritin was 5, and if you don't know, the minimum of the normal range is 15, at least according to the WHO. I've been anemic my entire adult life. I knew it, and for a long time, I just accepted it. I was always the tired one in the group. I got dizzy every time I stood up too fast. Brittle nails. My hair never grew past a certain length, neck length. But when I started losing my hair like never before with bald patches, that's when I decided that something had to change internally and that no magical cream will save my hair. This is part 1 of my ferritin recovery journey. In this video, you are going to learn what led me to try Moringa, how I felt week by week, how my ferritin responded after 2 months, and the lessons from this experience that I hope will help you in your own journey. By the way, I'm Bambi and I am on a mission to find out what my body can do when I actually give it what it needs. If you're on a similar journey and want to body up, I have a Substack linked below. That's where I share the things that don't make it into the videos. And also, I'm not a doctor, I'm just someone with real blood tests and a lot of determination. Alright, let's get into it. Baseline blood work. Before starting with Moringa, I booked a doctor's appointment, mostly for confirmation because honestly, I already knew what the results would be. It has always been the same problems for years. I asked for full blood work, the results came back, ferritin 5, hemoglobin 6.9, anemia confirmed. If you are watching this video, you probably suspect that iron is an issue for you as well. If you really want to take it seriously this time, please get a baseline blood work done first. Even if you already know what the problem is and that your last blood work is actually very old, take a new one. You need those numbers as an anchor. Why Moringa? Why I didn't want any iron pill? Let's start with that. Simply because I knew exactly which pill the doctor will prescribe me. It was always the same pill, guys. Ferritin. If you live in Europe, you probably heard of it. And this time around, I was a different person. I really wanted to heal. I was motivated. I was on a mission to have long and healthy hair. No. And I knew that if the doctor prescribed me the same pill, I will not take it and I will not achieve my goals, simply. The problem with that pill was the awful side effects I experienced in the past. I was actually even scared of that pill, guys. Yeah, it was that bad. Disclaimer though, many people find success with this pill, including my sister. It's just a pill I didn't tolerate well. That's it. Now you might wonder why I wasn't open to asking for another pill. Well, I come from a family that sees doctors as people who can't make mistakes. So when I couldn't tolerate that pill and the doctors kept prescribing it because I quote, "It's a very good pill," my young self really thought that the problem was me, not the pill. I genuinely felt that there was no other solution for me and I'd rather stay weak and tired than take it. So why Moringa? Well, Moringa was everywhere a few years ago. Superfood, miracle plant, very rich in iron, 25 times more iron than spinach. At least that's what they were saying online. I was then genuinely curious, could Moringa be the solution for me? I then took it every morning for 2 months in a powder form on an empty stomach, 1 teaspoon as recommended in the supplement instructions, along with vitamin C to improve absorption. I also avoided coffee, tea, calcium around meals during that period, as they are known iron absorption inhibitors. And I kept a journal, writing down my symptoms and how I felt whenever I noticed something. And that's what I'm going to share with you next. The experiment. Here's what my journal actually said. Day 1, I started the Moringa challenge today. The drink is actually not too bad. I had it with vitamin C to boost absorption. Day 9, I don't feel dizzy anymore when I stand up from bed. Also, the burning sensation in my shoulders is gone. Day 29, my nails are stronger than ever. I still feel good, no dizziness. Day 39, my hair feels stronger. When I moisturize it, it breaks less. Day 41, I hate Moringa so much. I decided to drink it concentrated in one go so I don't have to taste it for so long. Okay, pause. Guys, at day 41, I couldn't drink that thing anymore. I was so done. And what I mean here is that usually I had it in a normal mug and I thought if I have it as a shot, I will not taste it for so long. I was that desperate. I had to think about, strategies. And this is exactly when I regretted not buying Moringa in a capsule form. Oh la 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 la. Okay, back to the journal. Day 56. I had moringa with sardines and it's actually okay. At least I can taste it. Day 60. This morning I had the blood work done, but I keep going with the moringa. I'm struggling to drink it because it's really disgusting, but I really hope my ferritin increased. I still feel great. Day 69. Results are back. Ferritin went from 5 to 6. Oh my god. Oh, guys. I couldn't believe it. The first thing I thought about was how disgusting that drink was and how I suffered for 2 months for nothing. Of course, you will see that is not really nothing, but guys, of course I was not expecting ferritin 100, but not 6 either. The 1 point increase simply indicates that whatever I was doing was not working effectively. So you might be as confused as I was on why I felt so much better on moringa, and I really did, guys. My nails, my energy, my joint pain was gone. I wasn't feeling dizzy when standing up. I didn't have those weak episodes when I was outside. I felt genuinely good. So why didn't it show on my blood test? Placebo? Maybe. Of course, I asked the doctor. He said,
"The most important is that you feel good. You shouldn't rely on data too much. Would you like to continue what you are doing?"
In my head, I was like, hell no. I need to find a new doctor. By the way, I'm still looking for a new doctor, guys. So if you're in Berlin and you have a doctor's recommendation for me, please let me know. But in the meantime, my theory is very simple. First, when you look closely, 1 teaspoon of moringa contains about 1.3 milligrams of iron. And to actually treat iron deficiency, it's often recommended to get between 30 to 60 milligrams per day. I was very, very far from that. And I still can't believe I fell for it. But today, the more I educate myself on nutrition, the more obvious it becomes that 1.3 milligrams of iron was never going to do anything for me, or anything drastic. My ignorance is partially the reason why I didn't take more moringa. But even if I had, it wouldn't have made much difference because the recommended dose is 1 to 2 teaspoons daily anyways. And yes, I only took 1, but even with 2 teaspoons, that's only 2.6 milligrams of iron. And even at the absolute maximum of 11 teaspoons, which you will need to build up to gradually to avoid side effects, you will still barely reach the minimum 30 milligrams needed to treat deficiency. And we are talking about non-heme iron here, which your body absorbs at a much lower rate than heme iron. So the math simply doesn't work for severe cases like mine. But there might be a second reason, and it might explain why I felt so much better, but my ferritin barely moved, is when you understand what hemoglobin and ferritin are and do to your body. Hemoglobin is the iron actively circulating in your blood right now. It carries oxygen to every cell in your body, your muscles, your brain, your heart, everything that needs to function. So when it's low, you feel it immediately. Dizziness, fatigue, weakness, and so on. Ferritin is your reserve, is your iron reserve, the storage your body draws from when hemoglobin runs low. So when a person is anemic, the body prioritizes using incoming iron, so whatever you eat, and the moringa, for example, to create hemoglobin first, to transport oxygen to your organs. And then it fills up your iron stores, so the ferritin, if there is anything left. So moringa and my lifestyle changes, avoiding caffeine and calcium around meals, was then just enough of a boost to help me function slightly better day by day. But not enough to really touch my reserves. That's why I think I felt better, but I wasn't really fixed. And what confirmed this for me is what happened after I stopped taking moringa. Is that 2 weeks later, everything came back, guys. Everything came back. The dizziness, the weakness, everything returned. So today, I still have moringa sometimes. It gives a nice color to my smoothies. For general health maintenance or very mild deficiency, I think it's still worth exploring. So I think it's all about how fast you want or need to increase your iron stores. But for severe cases like mine, I think it just wasn't enough or wasn't the most efficient way. What I learned: The results of this experience were first very disappointing indeed, but the lessons from it are valuable because they partially led me months later to me finally increasing my ferritin to 51. So now I would like to just summarize what I took from this experience. Again, this is my story and I'm sure that some of you found success with Moringa. Maybe I did it wrong, so please share with us your experience in the comments. I'll be very grateful for it. First, get your baseline blood work done before you start anything. And keep testing every 2 to 3 months, at least at the beginning. This is very important because I felt so good on Moringa that if I hadn't tested after 2 months, I would have kept taking it. So the blood test saved me months of wasted time. Second, journal everything. Your symptoms, your energy level, how you feel that day, the food you ate. On a journey this long, your memory can really fail you, but when you have a journal like this, you can just refer to it and remember how things maybe helped you or didn't help you. I use Day One. It's a journaling app. If you use it, please tell me in the comments. I use the free version till today, but you can also use just a pen and paper. Doesn't matter. The idea is that you just write down how you feel, but I like this kind of app because you can use tags, you can search by terms, so if you want to get back to a specific moment, you can easily do it, right? And 3, question the headlines. The claim was 25 times more iron than spinach. The real number, according to a peer-reviewed study, is at most 3.4 times more than dried spinach. And there is something worth knowing. In Europe, unlike in the US, iron isn't even mandatory on nutrition labels. So often you can't even verify the claims yourself just reading the packaging. That's why you need to go one layer deeper than the headlines and do your own research. And there are better plant-based foods that are generally higher in iron. Check out lentils, white beans, tofu, pumpkin seeds, amaranth. These ones are very interesting to add to your diet. Just try to pair them with vitamin C or vitamin A, beta-carotene to improve absorption. So I actually learned a lot from this experience and I hope you did too. What's next for me, you might wonder. After this experience, I knew I needed something stronger, not 1.3 milligrams of non-heme iron, but closer to 30 to 60 milligrams of elemental iron recommended to actually treat deficiency. I still really didn't want to take that different pill, but I was open to trying something else. And I was also becoming more and more interested in finding out the cause of my iron deficiency, simply because I had no plan to supplement forever. These supplements are not cheap. So I knew that this time the conversation with the doctor would be different because for the first time in my life, I was going to say no to a doctor, specifically no to tadipheron. Spoiler, I had to say no more than twice. That story and what finally moved my ferritin from 6 to 51, guys, stopped my hair loss, gave me my energy back, and got me the longest and strongest nails of my life in the next video. And if you don't want to miss it, you should subscribe, and I'll see you there. Thank you so much for being here. Bisous, bisous.